Okay, what I want to show you now is the new drop tool, which is actually the smart drop tool. And it allows us to drop objects a little more realistically onto other objects. So let's just go ahead and start a little sample scene here. I'm just going to add a cylinder, a little sphere in there, and let's create a box and go ahead and squish this out just a little because we want a little bit of variation in these objects. Make that a little bit smaller that way and a little bit longer that way. Okay, now our original drop object tool, which we still have access to, just drops our objects specifically onto, in this case, the ground plane, because we are not over the other object. But if I go ahead and move that back up, move this over, and we drop this other object, it's just going to land directly on top of this other sphere, and not even very accurately. But with the new drop object tool, it actually takes sort of gravity into account, and also some basics, physics and things like that. So we can right mouse click to get our advanced drop object tool, and now you can see we have a lot of rotation here, and it landed exactly how it would land in real life if it was falling onto this other object. Same thing with our cylinder here. I can smart drop that, and now we have it slightly tilted, and although this would actually fall off in real life, it's still a very cool little tool we can use for creating much better looking scenes and much more realistic looking objects when they're interacting with each other. One thing I'll note is that you cannot animate that, unfortunately. So if we wanted to have objects falling on top of each other and manipulating and moving to this point, we couldn't do that. So if you try to create a keyframe at this point after you've dropped your objects, it won't work, and it'll actually kind of mess up your drop a little bit. So this effect cannot be animated, but it's still very cool and very useful for your view scenes. And you can still always go back, of course, and use the regular drop object, or we can do the smart drop, and whatever preference you have to specific tools within View.